Let me get a mic test one more time, just make sure.
DECA test.
That's right there.
Testosterone. I get the patches. They give me the patches because my body don't produce it, and then they give me some Cialis. Women are in trouble.
My brother don't think that.
You've been filming since we've been sitting here. You done got some good shit.
I know, shit.
Ricky said he couldn't do porn though because he
Couldn't do porn.
Yeah.
I on a video. I said, "Is it porn?" He said, "No, I have a
Can I
video."
hit you? Does that pick you up too?
That picks me up too.
All right, great.
Yeah, I wanted to get one of these
Okay, you
omnidirectional
smoke
mics.
too. That's all right.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're good.
I like
I'm
you better.
surrounded
You're
by
a good producer.
smokers.
I appreciate it.
He's stupid.
Brother Bennett works for Fox.
I know. I've seen that.
He's
I gotta smoke it.
production manager.
Yeah.
He writes the news and everything.
Come here, bud. You look good. Hey, hang on here a minute. I'm gonna bring you in on this video. Okay?
You want me to put a shirt on him?
Yeah, put a shirt
I'm
on.
gonna put a shirt on him.
Let us know when you're ready.
I'm ready to go.
Go to the
Let's
school.
go.
Bubba, go back to that door.
Cruise down.
The train picks up everything, bud.
Yeah, it picks up everything.
All right, man. You know,
Here we go.
there's a shit out here in the country. Thinking about reminiscing of all the times I've been through, like I was trying to say earlier to you, just my 35-year reunion with the SEAL teams. And it's a tight brotherhood. And one of the other brotherhoods I had, you know, besides being in country with a bunch of SEALs, was meeting you in 1980 down there for Joe Blanchard Southwest Championship Wrestling. A lot of people don't understand nowadays, you know, that back in the day when you met somebody on the road, you became brothers of the road and you helped each other out.
Well, man, what you're trying to say here is, see, understand back then, we didn't have contracts. We didn't make $1 million a year. We had the boys, and the boys had to depend on each other to make a living.
Right.
You understand? We depended on each other. Everybody did. It wasn't the part that he makes $1 million a year like they do these days and don't give a shit about nobody else that's in this business.
That's right.
All he cares about is him making his $1 million and fuck everybody else. That's what he's trying to say.
That's
Excuse my
basic.
language.
No, it's
This is
fine.
me.
You know, you got to
This is
open
me.
up and,
Okay.
like you said, brothers of the road. We shared a lot of things together on the road. We took care of one another, made sure we watched each other's back. Somebody had a breakdown, a flat tire, and we were running by. We pulled in behind them. We helped them out, make sure they got home to their families safe. That stuff don't happen no more. That's like the dinosaurs. These guys are dying.
Let me tell you, I first met Manny in San Antonio, Texas. Here I am. I went to San Antonio. I'm down there just a kid. It's 100 degrees. It's so hot. I can't believe it. And we're back then you could fly, which Odessa's up in the Panhandle.
Right.
You could fly for $25. You know, and it beats because it's like a 400 mile across a desert. When you rented cars, it's so hot. Even the air conditioning. I mean, you'd be hot. You'd be dying. So we fly. So I get to the airport, and there's Manny standing there, and I got a pair of shorts on, flip-flops. Manny says, what are you doing? I said, what do you mean? We're flying here. He says, you idiot. Don't you know it's snowing in Odessa? And I looked at him and said, you crazy. Ain't no snow in Odessa. It's 100 degrees here. I'm not bullshitting you. Look here, we're on an airplane. Manny says, okay. We fly to Odessa, and I'm watching, and I get there. I wasn't paying no attention. I get to land, I'm looking down. Ah, damn, there's a foot of snow on the ground. I'm not shitting you.
Yeah.
I got shorts.
Yeah.
There, here I am. I'm about to freeze to death here. I'm trying to run across there. You didn't have the runways then. You get off the damn airplane, had to run across the snow. Get across up there. We got to stay all night, fly back the next morning.
Right.
Now, I'm still dying. Here you go. I didn't. Man, I think Manny you had a coat.
I had a
stole
coat.
his coat because he had
He
long
took my
sleeves.
coat.
I had his
long
coat.
sleeves. Yeah, he
Then-
took my coat.
Bobo would get back to the hotel. Still, I'm freezing. I'm on something. I'm freezing to death. I can't believe it. He just laughing his ass off. I didn't understand about Texas then. Get back on the airplane. I'm freezing to death. We fly back to San Antonio, 100 damn degrees. I said, you gotta be shitting me.
Yeah,
That was-
I played football in the Panhandle. That's what they call the Panhandle of Texas. And the Panhandle's different, man. You can get storms and rain and flooding and everything compared to any part of Texas. So it could be 100 degrees in one part of Texas, be snowing in the Panhandle. That's the difference about the Panhandle.
But what's good too is when we did drive, and when you go across the desert, when we come back at night, I mean it's desert, there's not even stores. You better fill up, get everything you got. And a big thing when you come back, you ever seen the Jackrabbit? Jackrabbits are about this big.
Texas size
And at
jackrabbit.
nighttime,
We carried a
Look
varmint
here.
light.
they come out on the road, and I ain't talking 5 or 6, I'm talking thousands of these sons of bitches everywhere. We're drunk, you try to get a gun, you can't shoot. Look here, trying to shoot one, right? Next week we come back, goddamn jackrabbits got gargles on. Throwing dust up in their damn, can't kill a guy. Look here, Jack Howe, remember Jack Howe? He gets out and shoots the damn headlight of the car out. Yeah, right?
You said them damn jackrabbits, boy, like you said, like the hundreds of them, man. We used to carry a varmint light sometimes and spots at him, yell, hey! And the jackrabbit just stop like that, pow, 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 pow.
Yeah, but everybody else.
Bullets everywhere, never hit the
You got you
jackrabbit.
shooting dust flying out, goddamn jackrabbit looking at you like, what the hell?
You can't hit me.
Another thing bad was those snakes, dude. Goddamn,
Oh,
you get
yeah.
snake bit in the heartbeat. Heartbeat. You know, you get out of the car, that's the first thing. Watch out, here, see if you hear anything rattling. Great experience.
Great experience in Texas. One of the ones that I was telling him about one time was when I first came up, and one of your first partners was a good little worker, was Kenny Lucas.
Oh, God.
Original.
Ken Lucas taught me how to be a babyface.
Well, he must have been a master at it. He was
Yes.
one of the best babyfaces I ever worked against.
Well, thank you, man. It's great. That's a great compliment. But, you see, I was just a young kid coming out of Memphis, which I had been for Leroy McGirt, but was just a kid. And then here I am, a kid, coming into San Antonio where me and Kenny Lucas, and, you know, walking his footsteps. You know, this right here, and
Right.
boom, that's where I got that from. Kenny
From Kenny
Lucas.
Lucas.
Because back then, you know, the same thing, I sewed, and I give him that big comeback, when he come in that ring, and that stuff, and boom, blah, blah, boom. And, you know, that's why I stole. I did. I stole it off from him. You know.
Yeah, I remember the guy. I mean, he
Great
had a lot
guy.
of great fire, great individual. And then, and that's why I was telling the story about Victoria, Texas. A lot of people didn't know. Back in the days, you know, we used to carry a little buck knife. And I remember us leaving that day, and it was me, you, and Kenny Lucas, and some big old tall cowboy, about 6'6", got upset because his little girlfriend wanted to give you a kiss or something. And he thought he was going to kick your ass. Big ass cowboy comes out there trying to kick your ass. I'm in the back seat of that black car y'all had, that Ford, whatever it was. And that big cowboy comes after you. We trying to get out of the damn car to get over there to help you. We all get out. You got that big boy pinned up against the wall, that buck knife on his throat.
Yeah.
It made you just like the business pants.
Yeah. Well, we was all
That's
nuts.
just- yeah,
man.
this-
And we had a great time. You know, it's a great experience. See, that's what is missed out on wrestling these days. The guys, a lot of them don't even the top guys today, they don't even understand what our business is about, even what it's supposed to be, or where it even started from, even where it goes. What really pisses me off is you go in and you see some of these young wrestlers, and I always like to fuck with them. I do. I asked one of them, "Who's Killer Carl Cox?" They don't even know. But here's a business that people like him, and nowadays for these guys that pay, like they paved the way for us, and we paved the way for them. They don't have a fucking clue what you're talking about.
I don't want
and it really, really pisses me off to understand. You know,
It's funny because you bring that up. I just was with Killer Carl Cox and Danny Hodge at the convention in Vegas.
Yeah.
And Killer Carl Cox is still great. He's still funny. He still did his thing up there. Of course, Danny Hodge. He had all these guys screaming and hollering and grabbing
see
on.
these people these days, they wouldn't even get in the ring again.
No. Still at his age, he wouldn't get in the ring. But those guys were brothers. They started their brotherhood that brought us up. Like when the Funks broke me in, like when Kenny Lucas taught you, your dad was there with teach. Those guys don't understand that brotherhood. They don't understand, any part of what we really about. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, and you know, I get this question asked to me a lot. Who's the best guy you ever been in the ring with? Who's the best worker? Well, see, back then, dude,
We were all,
everybody were great workers. Even the job boys, the guy in the first match. Hell, they was just as good as anybody, but everybody had their gimmick. You know, you do your position as your business.
right.
Well, who did I have my best match with? Hell, I can't remember. I had so many damn good matches. All of them are great, you know, like us, Manny, me, and Robert used to do in Ring Root or in single matches.
Single matches.
Great matches. But Manny would go out with the next worker and have a great match with him too.
Too.
Because everybody knew what they were doing. Nowadays, half of them don't know whether to wind their ass or scratch their watch.
Yeah.
They don't. They
Top
go back.
wrist lock, the damn wrist.
You go back to the
lock,
dressing room, it's like they got a play pad on their fucking arm. Look here.
like the quarterback of the NFL.
All right, high
Oh, yeah,
spot
yeah.
number one.
One.
High spot. Okay, hold on for a minute. We'll stop this match. High spot number two. Okay, that's good. You know, don't know how to tell a
They
story.
don't know how to tell a story. Got no psychology whatsoever.
You know, it really made it. I never even watched wrestling.
Well,
But, you know, I had to. Hogan's coming into TNA.
yeah, right.
So I flick on TNA and I'm watching it. And, you know, I wouldn't say it was the shits. But
But
it
it's
wasn't,
beyond the
it
shits.
wasn't that damn good.
It's beyond the shit.
I want to know.
I've watched
Now,
that
see,
shit.
understand us. We gave our life to this business.
Yeah.
And got this Dixie Carter that's got this millions of dollars to run TNA. Who in the fuck is the brain surgeon behind? I don't understand what they're trying to do.
They ain't got no brains.
I watch the matches. Everybody that comes out, every motherfucker looks alike.
Yeah, that's the truth.
They all do the same goddamn high spots. And you know my feelings for Kevin Nash, but it's all right. I'm still a businessman.
No.
He comes out one week. He's working Scott Hall. And boys, they broke the indoor record for the worst match I've ever seen.
Tell me.
And then the next week, I turn back on the TV show. They're standing there together doing a damn interview. Now, I don't know, please.
Give me some psychology behind that. I mean, there's
No,
a reason.
somebody in the office there has got to have a picture of somebody fucking a goat. I'm not bullshitting.
That's about
They're
it.
blackmailing the hell out of somebody.
Somebody.
Because
Eric Bischoff, that's probably his,
This-
that's his side
you know,
job.
we gave our
Go
business
fuck
this,
it.
and I still,
Yeah.
I know Manny's that, but I still depend on wrestling for a living. I still work independence, and I still book a lot of shows. I still do things, and buddy, we do good business. Now, don't get me wrong, we don't got TV. We don't draw 10,000 people. But when you're an independent show, and you're consistently doing 800, 1,500 people, you're doing something right. You know, it's like TNA wrestled in Bristol, Tennessee. I go down to see the show. I walked in that building, you could have threw a hand grenade, you wouldn't have killed nobody. You know, people at ringside
Don't
would
feel bad,
people
don't
at
feel
ringside
bad.
probably went, what the fuck was that? You know?
Don't feel
Now
bad.
listen, and 2 weeks later I come back. In the same building, independent show, Wrestle Bobby Eaton. It's not sold out, but it's half fucking full. You understand what I'm saying?
It's
What
the
the-
believability of what it is today. It's what people believe. I mean, this garbage crap that they're putting on to Eric Bischoffs and the one.
Well,
It's
they're
like
doing it
this
for
to me.
this.
I don't know how you feel about Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan. To me, they're a bunch of pieces of shit. Okay, they're two big fucking rats in our business, trying to eat all the cheese, leave nothing for the young up and coming guys. I train young kids like R-Truth and Homicide, Loki, the guys that came through my school, Chris Hemrick, and all of them got a break because I don't care about wrestling that way. Wrestling is not my living. It's your living right now. I got another. My venture is like you saying about pieces of shit like Kevin Nash. Let me tell you something about this, Ricky. All our lives, me and you earned our living. We went and put asses in the seats. Whether it was me and you on the same card as Babyface, whether it was me and you and Robert Gibson, Rick Rude against each other, all over this country, all over this damn country.
Yes.
We sold out. We got paid by how much asses in the seats. And what these assholes don't understand is those young guys, the underneath guys that we love, that we're going to write a book about called The Underneath Guys That Laid Down to Make Us.
Yeah.
Those are the ones we cared about more than anything.
They're the
And these
ones-
idiots,
see,
they don't
they
care about
understand
nobody.
They're the ones that got us over.
Right. They got us over, and then you got these other clowns like they want to hang out for dear life forever. No, dude, at least you're doing, and I do some independent shows because I like looking at young talent. I like this where the business started. You know, it was handed off to me by Dickie Murdoch, and it was handed off to you by all these, the Killer Carl Cox, Danny. All this stuff was handed generation for a new generation of wrestlers.
Yeah.
These clowns want to live into the 31st century,
Well-
I guess. I mean, they look like crap.
Well, see, Randy made a good point there, especially when it comes about us. You know, like people back then thought, well, we made millions and millions of dollars. Well, fuck no. Jimmy Crockett made millions
Millions of
dollars. Bill Watts made millions and millions of dollars. These guys these days, I'm not bullshitting you. Some of them make more in one night I made in 30 years in this business. You understand that? I'm not bullshitting you. They have made more than one night. And I've made 30 years in this business. But see, like Manny said, we got paid for how many asses we put in the seats. Just think now, you take TNA and you take WWE, and you go to Greenville, South Carolina every Monday night. Then you go to other town every Tuesday night, and we sold them out.
That's right.
These fuckers can't sell them out once a year.
No, hell
You know what I'm saying?
We went like last time I went to go see TNA. I brought one of my students, Terry Taylor's interested in.
Yeah.
He's a little flaky now. He flaked on me, but I took Tully there. We went to TNA show in Old Dominion University.
Yeah.
They had to close the dates like you. You could have thrown out two damn hurricanes, and there was nobody there.
Yeah.
And they had all these superstars come out, and then they brought out Ric Flair. Brother, maybe 2 people clapped.
Yeah.
That's the honest to God truth. He came out there thinking, and this is the worst thing about anything. Here you're supposed to be a major promotion. And at the end of the show, it's, the matches sucked. How many times can you squash Kurt Angle? I love the guy's Olympic gold medalist, but you squash him every night, leave him laying on the mat every night. What the hell?
Well, see, when you watch TNA, and I say it to you guys, I mean, a lot of you guys, because I still like the boys, but they don't understand it.
They ain't got it.
You take Sting, you take Kurt Angle, you take Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, Flair, there you get deader than Kelsey's nuts.
That's it.
I mean, why not? See, you understand? That's why I can't understand. Why can't we get a job? Because we know what this business is about. You see, but you understand, you got to be in their clique. So you got Eric, they want to make it the Eric Bischoff, the Kevin Nash, the Hulk Hogan story. And when they done that one time before, they took a business that we were supposed to go into, that we wasn't in the clique, and they slid in front of us and put it $500 million in a hole. Kiss my fucking ass. Understand?
We built that corporation with our sweat, our blood.
And look where we are.
Yeah. But
And when you guys come to our independent shows, we'll blow your shit away.
Yeah.
All right?
It's like this, like you said, man.
Yeah.
We earned the right and the respect with one another. Not fucking sucking up like this piece of shit Kevin Nash. He's got something to say. Say it. I wish he said it to me. He wrestled one of my goddamn students at the show. He had the balls to wrestle one of my damn students at the show and asked my student, who trained you? And he told Manny Fernandez. He goes, well, I'll let you get the heat on me. Yeah, you son of a bitch, because my student would have stripped your ass. He's a piece of shit, sucks up. He's the biggest non-talent piece of shit I've ever seen in my life. He's been Oz, Vinny Vegas, Diesel. This son of a bitch should have been Janet Jameson. And he would have been Janet Jameson. He still wouldn't have been swallowing, because they wouldn't have gave him none.
Well, we go from here. I did an interview on Kevin.
I know, but hey, I heard that. And they ain't got no right to talk about nobody. He ain't never drawn a fucking fly if it was sitting on his damn asshole.
No, this is what I know. This is what I say. They couldn't draw flies in a shit factory.
I understand that.
But
for him to run his mouth, he has no respect for anybody in this business that's been respected for going up and down the road, driving like we used to do, hundreds and thousands of miles, meeting good people, spending time with good people. For him to run his mouth and say something about somebody that I've known for, 30 years of my life, shit, I'd kick his damn ass the minute I saw him.
Yeah, but see, what they don't understand about our business, especially like Dixie Carter, you got these guys in there, their ear telling what to do. I mean, look at Vince Russo.
Oh, Lord.
I mean, he's in there and she's listening to him. I mean, and after 10 years, if your ratings ain't up over a 0.5, after 10 years and you're not going to the houses and not drawing, Dixie, I know, if you ever get a chance to see this video, God damn, honey, change something. All right? They got to go. They don't know what they're doing.
They totally don't. They just the only difference between that is, like I told people, look, TNA spends millions to make millions, but they're not making millions.
No, they spend millions to lose millions.
Millions.
Yes.
WWE, that as much as I dislike the man, I give him credit for his marketing strategy. He spends millions to make billions, and that's what he does.
See, this is a big point you made right here. Here they go on, TNA goes on TV. We're going to go to Monday night, blah, blah, blah. Going to run against Vince McMahon. Let me ask you something. Do you think Vince McMahon laid in his bed awake thinking, God damn,
TNA's going to run against me?
It's a fucking joke to him.
Oh, God, yes.
Guys, you're a fucking joke because the people that's running TNA, you're all a jokes. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm not an asshole. I gave my life to this business.
Well, yeah.
Understand this. What you're doing, you're not doing it right. You're doing it flat ass fucking backwards. I mean, get your own heel and build it. Get your own baby face. Don't bring somebody in off another goddamn TV. It's been on there 20 fucking years.
Rejects.
Jesus Christ. What do you think they're in for your show for? Their ass got fired from up there.
Yeah.
You know, they got tired of them. So learn how to do psychology, how to build a heel over here, how to build a baby face. How that you got to understand that no matter who you are, you got to work together in this business. This baby face, don't give a fuck who he is got to put this heel over.
Right.
This heel over here has got to put this baby face over until these two that you've been putting over meet at the top of this triangle. That's how you draw money in this business. And the heels have got to know how to get heat and how to keep it.
But they don't know that anymore.
Goddamn, they kill themselves off in 2 seconds.
It's like we were at that convention with AJ Styles. The kid's got skills. I'll give him that much. He couldn't carry heat if you set him on fire. If I set that asshole on fire, he couldn't carry no damn heat. It's like I was telling my young kids that went with me. I said, see this? Now, there's a difference between a white meat baby face. I said, because they released some of my greatest matches. And, of course, you're on almost all of them. Yeah. I said, watch Ricky Morton. Watch him carry himself as a babyface. Watch how he gets the crowd. It's so involved and so mad. I've had people, there's a friend of ours, Sharon, for 37 years, and wanted to shoot me, kill me, because you carried that you sold, and we carried that heat to the point of riot. Hell, we started that riot in Charleston, West Virginia, when I'm trying to, people remember they were pushing the ring, the damn railing, and you're down there selling. I'm telling Ricky, it's time for a comeback. And you're looking at me, not yet. Not yet. I said, champ, Ricky, these people are getting closer to the ring. And get up and do, not ready yet. See, we had
Everybody, get up small package. Get up small package.
Small package.
Yeah, beat me.
No, not yet.
But,
these people don't understand how those kind of matches, how we carried one another and made it mean something. It's like those idiots out there that are 57, Hacksaw and my friend Matt Bourne. Hacksaw don't want to sell. Guess what? You got hooked and kicked in the face. Come on, dude.
Yeah, you go to another, and I say, where they bring their talent in. And which I got to say, it's guy-like. But when it comes to business, so when you listen to this, understand me. I'm not sitting there trying to talk or put you down bad. They brought Rob Van Dam in as the babyface. And see, Rob, I like Rob.
I do too. I help.
But you got to understand, Rob, what our business is about. He goes out and he does an interview. Does he do an interview about the match? No. Robbie, look, you can't go out on TV and just talk about how great you are. That you're the greatest. It's the Rob, blah, blah. One time in your life, be a babyface and go out there and put the heel over on your interview, how tough your match is going to be, or what it's going to be. But when you're standing in the middle of the ring, and then you look, and AJ Styles will say, now that's a pop. A pop, what? There's 200 fucking people out there, and you got 17 people over here holding up cue cards, telling you when to cheer.
When to clap. Wait, cheer, pipe in the noise.
Understand, buddy. Yes, understand our business. To be a babyface, you got to understand. You got to go out there and make them people believe in what you're doing. And you don't go out. You ever see me do an interview? I go out there. I'm gonna come out there, rip your head off, shit down your neck. I went to WrestleMania. I go out there. This is the Raging Bull. That's his gimmick. He's the bull. He's gonna run over your ass. Boom. He'll do anything that he can to beat you. I got one of the toughest, greatest wrestlers in the world. I got to step in the ring with tonight. What the hell did that go to?
Well,
what did it go to, man?
It's all start like working,
like
grabbing a hold and punishing the hold, like we used to do those great matches, 1 hour Broadway and stuff.
But even though you're a heel and you out to do an interview, you see, that's how people don't know how to be a heel. If you just do this one time, see how much heat it gets. Just one time, work an arm bar and let the heel pull the hair a couple times and listen to the people react. Okay, but what I'm going to is, when Manny went out on an interview, like the week before, because he did matches every week, I beat his ass all over the ring. Manny gets out there and tells everybody, boy, I whooped that Ricky Morton so bad he couldn't even walk. Yeah.
He took a whooping. The Ricky Morton, Manny Fernandez whipped Ricky Morton so bad he couldn't walk.
Yeah, look here, and I whooped his ass all over the
over the ring.
Yeah, you see, that's how you got to be a heel, and that's how you got to be a baby face. It's a lost art. And now, God, what kind of job I like to have is to teach the guys that even got on top.
Psychology.
You know, as I watch, look at here's John Cena. He probably makes what, $15 million a year, which he's got a good spot on their TV, because you got to understand WWE's not wrestling no more. They're all movie stars.
Yeah, they're entertainers.
You know, they're all movie stars. But I could spend 2 hours with John Cena, and I promise you, I can make him twice the baby face that he is right now.
Yeah.
Just spending 2 hours with him, showing him little things that he could do to improve on. And the reason why is because the people that's training them, or the people that put them, they don't know themselves what they're doing. I mean, don't get me wrong, this assignment is over. You know, he's over, like all them guys up there over there. Like I said, they're all movie stars. Watch their TVs. Every wrestler on there, their hair is green. I mean, their bodies, there's no body fat. I say that for them. They work their ass off to get in the position that they are in WWE.
You know,
To be the part they are, but they need to bring people in like us, for we can show them the finer points of what it's about, how to tell a story, that match, but in which Vince just don't got to worry about that, because he spends millions and millions for advertisement to get it there.
Yep.
But we can make it better for them if they just give us a chance. You know, goddamn, I'm known as what? The biggest drug addict in the fucking world.
Oh, you and me both. I mean,
Well, goddamn.
is that meanest drug addict? The stories told about me.
And the one that's telling us the drug addict is the one who got the damn, he's the one that had the dope that did the bump. And he had the house.
Had it all.
Yeah.
He's in the house with the
And
dope.
we got blamed for all that
Yeah.
shit. Yeah. You know, it's unbelievable. You could, look here, you end up with you get ice cold water. Damn, it's vodka.
Yeah, they think, oh, they're on the set doing that Iron Sheik gimmick. Hey, you bring me gimmick. Medicine. No, we don't bring no.
Hey, we'd be like Tommy Reilly. Hey, goddamn, Bunky, toe up. You
Well,
guys
yeah.
out there know Tommy Rich.
You guys, Tommy Rich was a great guy.
You know,
man.
at one time in this business,
Tommy Rich,
he was the greatest
worker,
over baby
big
face.
face in the business.
He was the Hulk Hogan of his time. And see, and if we only knew what we know now back then, see, Tommy Rich shouldn't even have to work today.
No.
He drove, goddamn, just off TBS. You know, you didn't have all this stuff they got going on there. Look at the places this guy sold out.
Yeah.
Look at the things he done. And see, and here they are up there, and they forgot about all of us.
You know, it's funny that you were bringing all this up about
Yeah.
that, because I just told you my book got finished and it's going to be published here in about 6 months to a year. And one of the great lines about it is Terry Funk wrote my foreword. And what's so great about this foreword is he wrote it all in pencil. All in pencil. Most people typed it.
Yeah.
He took his time to write it in pencil. But he was saying, in our era, in our time, Manny, that I came up in an era where wrestlers weren't created on paper. They weren't created like movie stars. We were all natural. We all had, like, Dirty Dick Murdoch was really a Dirty Dick Murdoch. You know,
shit.
Dickie was mean and dirty. He said, handsome Harley Race really thought he was a handsome guy. Of course, we all knew he wasn't handsome, but we knew he was a hell of a worker, great world champion. And then, of course, he said, and of course, the Raging Bull, Manny Fernandez, was the Raging Bull, because half the time, he was always raging.
Yeah.
And that's what we lived our persona. We carried it out. What these people don't understand, you know, they're given an identity by somebody that put it on paper, created you, and you have nothing else. You don't have that psychology. They don't know how to get in there and carry somebody and to make like I said, man. When back in the day, you weren't the biggest baby face in the world, but we put you over like you were a giant.
The people thought we was.
Oh,
Another
hell
thing
yeah.
is, see, maybe
You know?
what they don't understand is today. As you get to these towns and these shows, you look, these baby guys, like if I'm working, they got two guys working in town. They sit over there for 5 hours and talk about their match.
10-minute match.
Okay. See, we kayfabed in our days because we protected the business.
Right.
You know, it was our business. We were the boys. We protected it.
So
Now, everybody thought, boom, we're on the road together. See, when Manny turned babyface, we're on the road together. But when Manny was a heel, I never seen him till I got in the damn ring.
That's it.
You didn't have nobody to come over. You had a referee that come over to give us a finish.
Right.
Then the referee go over and give the heels the finish. Then we go out and do an hour match. Then you understand what I'm telling you. Listen, I go out there where high spot number 1, High spot number
And
two.
if it fails, they forget about plan B.
Yeah.
Because then they're completely lost.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like we'd go out and do, like when we took the world straps from you. I don't know how many loops that we did, all the West Virginia loops, we went an hour, Ohio
Yeah.
loops, we went
Yes.
all these hour Broadways, they weren't talked about. And half the time, we just felt each other. He knew I was coming with a tackle. I'd be setting up for him to hip toss me.
Yeah.
I'd be catching him for that blow job. Boom, high spot, boom, high spot, boom.
That's called a hurricane karate.
That's called hurricane, but we call it blowjob ice spot.
Yeah.
Boom, boom, boom. We didn't have to sit out there and go, okay, no. We knew what we were doing. We reacted to what we were doing. We were good enough to catch each other, not hurt each other, and carry on a match without having to sit there.
Yeah.
And, it's like the poor, I was at a show, and I love Bobby Eaton with all my heart. And so do you. And I was at this show with Bobby Eaton, and Dylan Eaton was on the show. And you know me, you know my rep.
Yeah.
And I had to wrestle Dylan. And Bobby's sweating and everything. Bobby, come on, you're a brother. That's your son. You never do nothing out there. And went out there, and Dylan Eaton, I told Dylan, just relax with me. I'm not going to sit here like these clowns and tell you what you're going to do for 10 minutes.
No.
You're just going to go out there, open your ears, and listen like I was taught.
That's
Okay?
what I tell everybody.
So I go out there, I get Dylan Eaton, and I call it simple high spot, snatch your headlock, one tackle, get it again.
Yeah.
And he
I
does
mean,
that, boom.
Was he nervous?
He's so damn
That
nervous,
bless his heart.
he completely missed the
That's what I
tackle.
love.
I love him to death. I'm
Yeah.
going, dude, calm
But
down,
yeah,
calm
I
down.
still do, man. Like I told you, I still depend on wrestling for a
Yeah.
living.
And
And like even last night, I go in, guy, what do you want to do? Dude, I don't call high spots back here.
yeah.
The moment I walk out that curtain, I listen to the people.
That's
I can tell
it.
you exactly what they want before.
Yep.
When I walk out and start listening to them, and I'm going to here. My mind's going here. Then I'm going to here. When I get in the ring, I gotta understand. See, what these guys don't understand is when I come in as a babyface, they don't understand. High flyer. I wasn't a high flyer. All I did in this business was sell.
Yeah.
And I gave Robert a
But
hot
you-
tag.
Yep.
You see, that's what's wrong with our business today. You see, I got in the ring with the guy last night, and I told him, I'm trying to talk to him in the ring. I said, listen, brother, let me get you over before people know who I am. Because when I tell a story in this match, I beat somebody.
Right.
I do the thing I do with you sometimes, man.
Yeah.
It gives me the big tackle.
Tackle, sell it like
and I tell him, get away. Let me sell the tackle. Damn, you just ran over me. I hit my head on the back of the mat. And he's, which he did a good
rushing.
job, but a lot of guys I try to do that with, they're standing there with their finger up their ass, don't have a damn clue about, I need to get more. Leave me the fuck alone. Get away.
Get away from me.
Yes.
I do that one time. I got this one kid kept
They don't know.
getting on top of me. Every time I try to put on the same, like, you try to put these young guys
Get on
over.
top of it.
No.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
You try to put these young kids over and make them understand. It's like in New York, Tommy Dreamer. I've always respected Tommy Dreamer. He came up at a convention, he kneeled down beside me, and he was telling me the story about when he had his first match. I didn't realize it was with me, right? He's telling me, Manny, when we wrestled for Mario Savoldi up in Brunswick or IWCCW, some independent thing, and he goes, brother, we were so scared of you because we've always heard how mean you were and how you and Wahoo McDaniel used to beat the living crap out of each other, chop each other, beat each other up, shoot on each other, punch each other. They should have just known that me and Wahoo were tough, and that's how we wrestled each other, right? That's how we did each other. Of course, I wouldn't wrestle you the way I wrestled Wahoo. So Tommy Dreamer says I come out there scared to death myself. I was intimidated. My dad was intimidated over though his dad was smart. His dad was smart a little bit. So after the match, he comes back and his dad ran in the dressing room, and he goes, my dad ran in the dressing room and was going, are you okay? Are you okay? Did he hurt you? And Tommy goes, I looked at my dad and went, I want to wrestle him all the time.
You see, that's a good point that you made right there, which you went on to a thing. See, back in WCW days, here we go. They're trying to weed us out. The Lugers, the Stings.
Oh, yeah.
Because they know that we're going to blow their shit away. They want our jobs. That's what we got mounted as the damn drug dealers and all. And we didn't do
Snorters, drug dealers.
Yeah, look at Luke or what happened to him.
Child
But that's what I'm trying to say is,
molester.
here they bring Stan Hansen in. And I know Stan Hansen. I know
Love
him
him
from
to
the
death.
band.
Yeah.
And Stan Hansen go to the ring with them and beat the shit out of them.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? And then they go to the office and bitch and complain. And then, see, this is what they went to the office. And I go out there and wrestle Stan Hansen. And I put a clinic on for him. try to tell him how to work with. And all you had to do, Stan Hansen, the big guy. This is Stan Hansen. He works stiff.
Yep.
He hits you that lamb, but he hits you. And if you didn't
Can't see.
And if you didn't go out there and fight him back, well, he's going to eat your goddamn lunch. And that's what Luger and Sting and them didn't understand.
Yeah.
Bruce and Brody. Bruce
Same
and Brody
thing.
loved me.
West Texas, had great matches.
Because I'd go out, I'm a little bitty fuck. I went there to wrestle that big side. I'd fight that big master. I couldn't hurt him. I'd hit him across the head of the brick, and he'd laugh. I used to tell him all the time, don't shoot the son, bitch, you'd piss him off. You know? But
Yeah,
bless
Brody
his
was
heart,
tough.
he's dead.
Brody was tough,
That's the
bro.
reason what happened to him, boy, he's tough.
Yeah.
But see, if you just go out there and show them and fight them and stand up, even not stand up to them, but let them know they give you a great match.
Yeah, but these guys were chicken shits. They
they've
were
got
crybabies.
they're pussies.
They're pussies. You know, the Brody. They don't understand. Brody and Hansen had
God.
that. They stayed in Japan so long that was their style. They came in. They were hard. They were physical. I'll never forget the first time I went to Japan, 1983. And I was in a six-man with Brody and freaking Hansen against Damanoki, Sakaguchi, and Fujinami. And I'm over there thinking it's American style. You know, I didn't know. It's my first tour of Japan. So I'm trying to work with him, and that damn Brody and Hansen grab a hold of me, jerk me back into the damn corner, and look at me and say, "Hey, kid, you start beating these some bitches up, or I'm going to start beating your ass."
Oh, yeah.
Hey, brother, after that, I started whacking the Japs. They nicknamed me Cemento. Oh, you Cemento. Hell yeah.
That's great. I'm glad you mentioned something about Japan. See, because that's where you really learn. There's a couple things people don't know, even about, we were surrounded, my partner, Robert Gibson, really, truly tough son of a bitch.
Oh, yeah, who's got it tough?
Yeah, but
Clumsy, but tough.
We go into Japan, and they have our first time there for Baba, and they got their Rock and Roll Express team, which they call Footloose. Okay, but when we go on tour, I know we got to work with them later on in the tour, because and they're Japanese, because you can't call spots with them in the ring. So I'm watching them work. And about a couple weeks later, they're intimidated of us. We hadn't earned their respect, because we're the American boys. Our first time in Japan, we're working with guys underneath. Da. So it comes the night to work with them. They want to try to intimidate us. And they don't know what we've been through. They don't have a goddamn clue. So we walk in the ring. Well, I walk up to them. I says, anything y'all want to do in the ring? They look at, no hot spot. We're doing a 30-minute Broadway. No hot spot. They just turn around and walk away. I said, okay, whatever. So we go to the ring, and the biggest one of the Footloose, I don't know what this motherfucker was on, or what he did, or what he was thinking.
He was Jap.
This dumb motherfucker.
He was on Jap.
Here I am, the little one. This sumbitch hauls off and open hands slaps Robert Gibson.
Oh.
He slapped him. The next thing I know, Robert had this son of a bitch bent over his head between the ropes. He's hitting this motherfucker. Bam, bam. And I pull Robert off of him. This motherfucker looked like Elephant Man. His goddamn face all swelled up. Look here. They jump out of the ring and they run back to the dressing room. I looked at Robert, I says, well, I guess we're fired. He said, fuck, we was looking for a job and we found this son of a bitch. He says, come on, go with me. We jump right out of the ring. He goes, back to say kayfabe.
Right.
We go straight in the Japanese boys' dressing room. Robert runs right over and kicks that motherfucker right in the head, back against the goddamn lockers. Ba-boom. Fuck, I got Robert, I get him back. I said, come on, who? And, then I'm sitting there, and Robert, fuck you Japanese motherfucking son of a bitch. He's cutting a goddamn interview on him. I get him, I pull him back. I get on the other side. I said, well, I guess we'll be going home tomorrow. On the thing.
Wow, you got over.
Look here now, the next day, the bus comes, we get on the bus, we're riding. We get to the town. We pull up to the building, I look out the window, and I see them two motherfuckers standing there. I says, Robert, they're fucking waiting on us. I said, God damn, we got to whoop her ass again, get off the bus. Look here. And boy, I'm ready to go. God damn, I'm all psyched up. I come off at me and Robert, first two off the goddamn bus. I said, fuck, we're going to show. We jump off the bus, they stood there, they go, I'm at the side, get the sign. Tonight we do very, very many high spots. Tonight we have the match. Look here. And I swear to God, the rest of the tour, they met us at every bus and carried our fucking luggage in the goddamn building. Every fucking night.
What they call you?
Mata-san. And Gibson-san.
It's like Manny-san.
Yeah,
Hey, my name's
Manny-san.
Manny. Say Manny. Manny-san.
Mata-san.
Manny Fernandez-san.
Robert done beat the living dog fuck out of this motherfucker. And then he understood
That's
what was happening. See, they don't understand, you know.
You know what used to crack me up?
And brother, hey, well, I went back to Japan about 20 more times after that.
Yeah, he used to crack me up because you know how Hoot looks. He has that little possum face and everybody thinks.
You know what was bad about that, man? I love Robert.
I love him.
That's what he's
Nobody
always-
thought he was tough because he had that look.
Everybody's at the gym. You know, we're going to split up, play basketball. Robert be the captain, going to pick, hell, he picked 2 people. You know what I'm saying? Robert said, I pick him, motherfucker, he'll walk over here. No, I'm just kidding. Love you.
Yeah, but hey, he did have that look, and he looked like nobody just was so
No, I
deceiving.
just like you
What's
said.
so deceiving about him, like I said, is he had that little cute possum face. Nobody thought he was tough, but like a fucking possum, he can fight like a
He'll
son of a
whoop
bitch.
your
He
ass.
can
For
whip your
God
ass.
got the word. That's what.
He can whip
That's
your
what
ass.
these guys
But
don't
you
know.
know what used to get me is
Yeah.
when I used to get. He was clumsy in the ring.
Yeah.
You know, we'd be working at our Broadway. I try to do something, step on my ankle. God dang it. Step on my wrist. God dang it. I get so mad. I said, who take out?
Yeah,
Take out.
Let me tell you.
Take out.
One time,
He was-
you see, you got to understand, and people don't really understand about concept. When Robert and I first come into Charlotte, they gave us a hell of a, put the world belts on us.
yeah.
And you didn't have no basketball team. You didn't have no football team. You didn't have, look here, when you come in on 85 into Charlotte, there's a big billboard of me and Robert.
Yeah.
Watch NWA, Mid-Atlantic Wrestling, everything. Boom, there, here we are, these young guys. We're on this TV, and, you know, and I could see back then, because, you know, rednecks and shit, we intimidated, you know, especially with the little girls.
Right.
And here we are going to the ring, and here'd be one of them's boyfriend. I'll never forget this, because, see, they just don't understand how tough people are.
They just
I'm
say-
going to the ring, and here this guy jumps up in front of my face. You motherfucker, you drop it. And all of a sudden, I feel an arm go around my head. Right, hits this motherfucker. Boom. He falls down. This is no shit. We go to the ring. We do an hour Broadway, and we come back, and we had to step over this motherfucker to get back in the dressing room. Robert done knocked that son of a bitch out. He'd been out an hour. I finally went out there, I said, somebody take this motherfucker to the hospital or something. I said, you're gonna fucking die. You know?
You said, you know, this generation of people don't understand how tough. There's matches, you know, that we did. That I used to worry about you, you know, because everybody thought, especially in Philadelphia, because in Philadelphia, of course, you know, they hated the baby faces. And I remember that one time we went, and I guess that's when they broke kayfabe, that Mark, whatever, that started writing the kayfabe sheets, and all these marks started thinking
I
they
got you. That
remember
guy wrote that shit out in California.
Yeah, out in California.
Dave Meltzer.
Yeah, and he was out there, and we had that boy. We were going out on Broadway, and me and you got into the ring. Boom! I snatched you, snatched a headlock, and the people started yelling, "Boring!" You know, they started, and I said, "Fucking take me over, take me over." I laid there, and I wouldn't let. We didn't get up, and they kept going, "Boring, boring." Then the boring started dying down, dying down. Remember, we waited them out.
Oh,
We
yeah.
didn't move. We laid there on the mat.
Oh, it's all that boring.
See,
We'll show you fucking boring.
these like nowadays these clowns don't understand that. You paid a ticket to see me.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna do what you tell me to do. I'm gonna do. So they kept on finally with me after about 5 minutes of me laying in that headlock snoring. I said, "Okay, Ricky, I'm gonna come up and shake a little bit." So I come up and shook a little bit, and the people started cheering. I said, "Fuck it, we're going back down. We're gonna lay back down now. Fuck them. We're doing what we want to do."
See, the crowd was trying to run the show.
Yeah, they're trying to run the show, but
It's like
we showed them. And we did that high spot, boom, 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 so cut, crossed up, and they started calling high spots. So we cut and crossed them up in the high spot. I slid out and I told the guy, I see you fucked up, you missed the high spot.
Oh, yeah. Sure did. I was wrestling Batman Big old ECW trying that shit. Here I am. I'm the heel. I'm the head Batman, big old fight.
Batman, the baby face.
But you know what?
Oh.
And I go back to another thing in a minute to show how it goes. All you gotta do is sell. Your baby
Yeah,
face.
oh, yeah.
You need to sell. But I'm in there, boom, and the marks are hollering, do this, do that, do this. Finally, I had to stop the match. I said, fuck it, stop it. I went over and grabbed the microphone, and I looked down at the people. I said, listen, I'm the goddamn heel in this match. I call the hot spots. Sit down there and keep your fucking mouth shut. Right? Sit down fucking laughing. You crazy son of a bitch. I said, fuck these motherfuckers. I run this show.
That's what I'm saying about these guys nowadays. They let the people call everything. It's like we used to take pride back in the day. I would watch matches, and I made sure that when I went back out there, I didn't copy that first match. I didn't do nothing that first match.
Oh
goddamn! Today they do identical.
Every match is the same.
Everything's the same. They all flip flop and flying all over the place. We went to go see a match in New York with some guy named Simply Amazing Red and some guys. Yeah, I don't know.
Hitchhiking or
I think so. Amazing Red. But they were funny as hell. They were going so daggone fast and doing so much shit. They were missing each other by a mile. The guys were taking bumps and the people started laughing. And then he did some spinning kick, missed the guy's head by that match. He took a bump.
Well,
boom.
it's like I told the guys. When you work a match, slow it down. Let the people see what you do. Here you go. I mean, watch wrestlers like a goddamn tennis match. Look how they're going. And then you see them stop and ask, what did he just do? They don't fuck. Goddamn, let them see what you're fucking doing.
That's what so I can tell. That's what the psychology of our business is.
And watch.
People need to slow down and watch.
Yeah, and true, you think this shit works great. You guys out there that do all these hot spots, watch WWE show when they got all these guys out there flying. Watch, because you hear the crowd going crazy, you hear crazy, but look at the crowd.
They ain't doing nothing.
They filter in the damn fucking noise.
Yeah.
The people up there, people at ringside over here,
like that
right here.
Yeah.
God damn. Fuck.
These guys, like you were saying, they crack me up with all that stuff because it makes no sense.
They don't understand, Manny, what I'm saying.
When we went to TNA, they opened up with those idiots. Generation Me and somebody else. They did all this gymnastics shit, right? Yeah. Flying over the top and everything. And then Homicide came out. Kid that I trained. Homicide came out and wrestled some guy that was on one of the Navy
Mohawk guy, the Jesse Neal or whatever.
Jesse Neal, whatever.
Guy.
And fucking people just saw all this gymnastics. They thought it was the Olympics or something.
Yeah.
And just were like, what the hell? What was that?
Oh,
right? And then stupid Homicide comes out. He makes the guy grab a headlock, shoots him out, gives him a tack on the pop.
Yeah. See,
he popped.
In my own theory, the way I try to do this, especially when I wrestle, I'll be wrestling Manny. He'll do something to me. And when the heel bends over and asks me, God damn, Ricky, you all right? And I look up and say, I'm selling, dude. Okay, boom. Next thing, God damn it, you all right? Yeah, boom, boom. Now, I'm thinking, now I got the guy you've been working with thinking I'm hurt. Because I sold.
Right.
Okay, now, what's that guy on the front row right there think? Right? Now, you think about that guy on that front row, what that motherfucker up on that balcony thinks. He says, these motherfuckers are killing this son of a bitch. You understand what I'm saying? If the people slow down, see, I was going back to the thing where I was the heel and Bam Bam was the babyface. And I gotta say this right here. I went to a WWE show a couple weeks ago, Johnson City. Now I'm in the back, and I gotta say this: the guys treated me with the greatest respect.
No, they should.
In the world. I mean, that was great. And I was sitting down. They had a TV back there, and Glenn Jacobs Kane is wrestling Chris Jericho. And I told the boys, because he's asking me, I said, stop, I want y'all to watch something here. I want you to watch what's happening right here. Do any of y'all even understand what's going on? Like, what are you talking? They're telling you a story. Look at this. These two guys are telling you a story. They're great fucking work. Watch this right here. This Chris Jericho is beating the living shit out of Kane. Because Kane's a babyface. He's selling like he's going to fucking electric chair. I ain't shitting you. I'm watching, I'm going, God damn, this is great. But boom, then all of a sudden, Chris will miss something, and Kane will go for his fucking finish, but Chris will get out of it. Boom, back to the heat.
Yeah.
Because he did, but boom. And they worked it. And then he went back for his finish again. Chris Jericho grabbed the rope and did something, boom. And it was fucking, the people started going, and all of a sudden, he does something really big and stops Kane. He goes to the top rope and dives, and Kane catches him in his finish and hits him with it. 1, 2, 3, and the fucking roof come off the building. And I told the guys, I said, do any of y'all know this what happened like that? I said, what they do to get us this? What they did, I says, they showed the people that Chris was a heel and Kane was a baby face. Yeah. You see how Kane sold? And I gotta say, it's like even thing like you said. I gotta say this for Hulk Hogan. One thing he did do smart. He did sell. He'd go to the bell. He did sell. And that's what. Boom. Working wise, no, you're right.
No, he couldn't work.
But he was
His
smart.
dad said he couldn't beat his 90-year-old grandma.
But he could. But he learned the business how to sell. And see, that's what makes a good baby. If you guys out there that are watching this video and you want to learn our business how to work, don't watch the shit that you see on TV today. Goddamn, what they do is they watch it, they see that hot spot, and they go try to do it on their Saturday night show, which is a hobby to them. This business is a business to me. It's how I feed my family.
Life.
It's how I pay my bills. I still do. And that's why I was saying earlier, that's why I like to give me a job. Please give me to teach these kids the psychology of having a fucking match.
To sell. Just like you said right now, it's like I try to tell my students in school.
Yeah.
Is if you start to heat, think about you're boiling water for coffee. It starts slow, and you build it slow, and you build it slow.
Yeah.
And eventually, when you get there, bam, it erupts.
Yeah.
And that's what happens, and that's your final for that. But you got to learn. But these people don't know where to start at. They don't have a starting point.
Well, it's like I said, they go straight to the ring. They have no enthusiasm involved. And I told a guy the other night, I said, man, next time you go to the ring, you get somebody with a pole, tie a feather onto it, and tickle your ass while you're up in the fucking ring for at least you'll do something.
Yeah, no
And
shit.
look here, then you look at your tag team partners. Well, see, they done went over the whole fucking match. Here's his tag team partner standing in the corner over there. Well, fuck, I think he's waiting for fucking a room service or something. He's over in the corner, like this right here.
Yeah.
I mean, damn, when I'm in the ring, and I'm on outside working that apron is just as important as a boom, like Manny slammed Robert. I run out and I sell my back, like, oh, God damn, he slammed him, boom.
Same thing. You hit Rude, I'd run down the apron to try to get in.
Yeah.
For you to pop me.
Boom, but when he was over there and you'd hit him, look here, boom. It's like he hit me, boom.
Right.
It's the real, I'm thinking to the people, you got to make these people understand and believe all y'all do is high spots. I mean, I'm waiting for him to shoot Hugo out of the goddamn cannon.
Oh, hell, I told
this. That's what I'm looking for next time.
That match.
You know what? And the fucker will kick out on too. Well, these two big fuckers, brother, they do, goddamn, I mean, they weigh 600 pounds apiece. They do moonsaults off the top.
Oh.
They do all kinds of shit.
Oh.
And I'm watching these motherfuckers, and I know we got to work with them. So, brother, we out there, we having a match with them, boom, I'm doing my thing. Brother slams me, bam, boom. And he says, lay still. So I turn around and look, and I see this ass, this big, going up the top of the rope. Look here, I jumped up and turned around. I said, what'd you say? All right.
You got the hell out of
He turned around, looked at me, and says, he goes, lay down, I'm going to give you a moonsault. I said, you ain't giving me no goddamn moonsault. I'm moving, motherfucker. I said, I don't give a fuck what you going to do. I'm moving. Fuck that shit.
Yeah, no.
But-
There's some
but
things
you
you
see,
just don't
go
lay
back.
down for.
Like you said, Manny, it's even like in TNA. Everybody's in competition with everybody because they want to be the best. Instead of them guys working together. See, that's why if I went in there and I was in charge, brother, would I have heat? Because I'll tell you, look here, it's going to be my fucking way or it's going to be the fucking highway. I'll be like, you ever seen the movie Major League?
Yeah.
When the guy comes out there with his contract.
Yeah.
Okay, look, hey, this is my contract. I lay on the floor and I'll piss on that motherfucker. There's your fucking contract. Okay? In order to draw money, you got to do something to make the people. You see, if you got something they want to see, they come and see it. Does that tell you anything at TNA? You ain't got shit they want to see.
It's like
So change something. Like the independent shows we was talking about earlier. God damn, you go to them. Here you go. It's 11 o'clock at night and they even had fucking intermission. I'm going, shit. But see it and talk about, come here, buddy. I want everybody to meet my little buddy right here. You talk about wrestling business. Sit here in my lap for a minute. And we travel all across the world. Buddy travels with me everywhere. Look at me. He's 9 years old. And guys, I promise you, he can outwork any of you son of bitches out there that's watching. You know why? Because he listened to Daddy. I watched him many a times and it really flipped me out. And so we was at a show one time. The boys in the ring working out. My boy went to the ring. He's telling him, he goes, That ain't the way you do it. Da-da-da-da-da-da. And then I looking at him because he's a little kid, like funny. Then one of them speaks up and says, damn, listen to him. He's right. He's trying to tell you the right way.
Hey, but you said the magic word. You said the magic word. Listen.
Yes.
It's this lost art.
This is my buddy right here.
They don't listen anymore. They don't listen anymore, Ricky.
Man,
they don't listen anymore, Ricky. Come on.
I promise you guys, one day, if the wrestling business is still going, this boy here, Kerry James Morton, you listen, he's going to be a superstar because he's one of them. Because he's daddy's boy, he goes with me.
He watches, he listens.
He get in the ring with some of the guys, and he would depart with motor because it's for the matches. Says, damn, I wish he was bigger. He's having a better match than all my top guys are. It was good. That's good.
That ain't hard to do nowadays, though.
Love my buddy.
You know what's funny?
Go play on trampoline some more, okay?
It's funny. It's not hard to do anymore. Like everybody's trying to be something. Like you were Ricky Morton, rock and roll. I was like
Yes.
Terry Funk said, the Raging Bull was the Raging Bull. Everybody wants to be. Everywhere you go, there's a carbon copy of Matt Hardy. Everybody wants to be AJ Styles. Everybody wants to be whoever they copy. Whoever they want to copy, they can't be individuals anymore. They don't know about being themselves. They got to steal from this guy, steal from that guy, and become that guy.
Yeah, they can't figure out who they are.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what you got. You got to figure out your personality when you get in that ring. You know, and that's.
It's one thing I never.
It's so easy. You know, the guys just don't even understand how easy. You know, and I have seminars where I get in the ring and I work out with people. And I explain to them, you know, less is a hell of a lot more. What you're trying to do is tell a story to these guys, and you can't tell a story by doing 7,000 fucking high spots. And then after you do 7,000 fucking high spots, you beat the fucker with a small package.
Yeah, no shit.
Now tell me, what the fuck, what are you doing? What are you thinking in your head?
That cracks me up. These guys hit everything with every major finish. Everybody's finish in the world. Everything going on. He kicks out of every damn. And the guy only weighs 130, but he's kicking out of all these major high Karanas or whatever, sunset or moonsaults on his head, spiking him on his head, and the guy's kicking out of everything, 130 pounds. I'm going, holy shit. All that guy's doing is making that 130-pounder look 10 times tougher than he is.
Goddamn world champion.
That's it, brother. He's the world champion.
He don't have a clue that
you can't even beat him.
He's having don't have a clue he's killing himself off. Yeah. That's true, man. Right
that
there.
heel can't even got a clue. You know, it's like I watched an old film of mine with the great Don Morocco.
Yeah.
In 1979 when I was a rookie Florida heavyweight champion. And I remember when that Don Morocco just put a little piece of white tape on his thumb. And they called it the Asiatic Spike, and he would hit me with it, and I'd sell it like he killed me, and the people went crazy. They wanted to kill him. They wanted to kill him. All it was a gimmick.
Okay, I'm glad you said that. I watched an old tape because my dad, I'm from a wrestling family.
Right. I know.
My dad used to referee down in the Nick Goulas days in there, and I found an old tape. You remember Tojo Yamamoto?
Oh, heck yeah.
He was wrestling Lynn Rossi, which you guys out there
I remember Lynn Rossi.
No goddamn clue who I'm talking about because you don't do research on our business and what it's about. But here's Tojo. You got to understand, back in the early 70s, Japanese, see, because that's why people don't, you get a gimmick that's, it's in the news. You know, the Japanese, they bombed us at Pearl Harbor. He had more heat than anything.
Right.
But they worked the ring, they're standing in the ring. Lynn Rossi's over there, they have music. Tojo stayed in the ring like this right here with his little wooden shoes on. Boom. And there's Lynn Rossi. My daddy's a referee. My daddy would turn his back to Lynn, and Tojo would look at the people with them eyes, and he'd go. But he wouldn't put his hand in the tights. He'd go. And the goddamn at the crowd, because that's what I'm watching.
Yeah.
They did this 5 or 6 times. Then finally, you know, they have the match, and, you know, they worked, you know, Lynn's, but it was the angle. Tojo gets the heat. Look here. Everything he did, I mean, he'd sneak up on Lynn Rossi. Here you go. Right? And then he'd sneak back off. Look here, look at the people. And I'm watching the crowd, and they're losing their fucking mind. You know, you walk over and give the working chop. Bam. Lynn Rossi would sell that son of a bitch like he'd been shot with a goddamn torpedo. Boom. Bada-da-da. He'd sneak back over. Finally, Lynn Rossi made the comeback. Toto's down, he's in the corner, my dad's pushing back. Now, he went into the tights at the finish. He pulls out the little bag, because it's salt. It's just a little sugar bag, but it's the salt. He pours it in his hands. He throws it in Lynn's eyes when he does. The whole goddamn East section come in the ring.
Yep.
Oh, they come in the ring on him. My daddy's back there trying to pull him off. Toto's got that wooden shoe trying to hit these fucking marks.
That's how much heat.
I mean, see, that's what you guys don't understand about our business.
That's what I said.
If you go out there and tell a story, learn how to tell a story. Ask
Get
people,
heat.
Yes.
Yeah, I watched that AJ Styles wrestle that guy from WWE, and he's got good skills, but he doesn't have a clue how to get heat. He couldn't get heat for all night long. They went 20 minutes, and I'm going, get some heat, dude, get some heat. I mean, then you got the people sitting like this. Okay.
Oh yeah, they don't give a fuck.
They don't give a shit. Learn how to get heat.
You see,
What's the point here?
And I love to do this right here. I do it all the time, man. You have 78 fucking matches. I'm last. Like I said, I done did everything you could ever imagine in this business. Not once, but the first 47 matches. And here now I got to go on. Now the people done sit through all this shit. They're out there. You think somebody passed fucking volumes out? They're all sitting out there like this right here,
Tired.
and they're going, well, ba-boom. You know, somebody, you always got one of them. How the people are dead. I look at them, I says, give me 5 minutes.
Yep.
Give me 5 minutes, they ain't gonna be dead.
Oh, heck,
5
we've
minutes,
done that many a time, like we did in West Virginia.
5 minutes, that match. Rock and roll. Rock and roll. Because you know why? Because I learned from the people before me that paved the highways for me to be where I'm at. And it's not even half of where you guys at, especially with your billfolds. You know, goddamn, dude. I mean, it's unbelievable what we done, Manny.
Right.
And I can't even get a job for these companies popping fucking popcorn. You know,
I don't think you want. You're way above that.
Hey, look here. There's an 8-month waiting list for that job. You know what the fuck? You know, that's what we're going to.
That's the sad thing about the business. Like, here was, even though me and you worked for Dusty Rhodes,
Yes.
we worked for Dusty for a while and everything. Dusty was, to me, I mean, I love, me and him have a love-hate relationship. I love and hate the fat man. I'll always hate the fat man. I saw him about a year ago. I didn't even make an effort to go to him, but he came to me, gave me my big hug and kiss, said, hey, baby, here's my number. You need to stay in contact with me. Yeah, whatever. Because Dusty was a user to me, He used you, used rock and roll, used me. Dusty used a lot of us to get established, but along the way, even though he was a user of that kind of talent, he took care of us. He took care of us, and we appreciated that. And, a lot of these guys don't understand it. When you're dedicated to working for somebody, no matter how you feel about it, you're professional about it, and you work for the man. Yeah. There's been just like I was telling you, when Matt Bourne and Hacksaw Duggan got into it in the ring, you're 55 years old, you don't want to sell for the guy, you get your face kicked in. How stupid is that? Yeah. At our age, how stupid is that, right?
Yeah.
But we're not going to put up, guys like me and Matt Bourne, we're not going to put up with you trying to, try to steal the show or, try to not sell for the guy, nothing because you had a few in you. But our pride is, it's like, me, the history between me and Tony Blanchard. I got stabbed 8 times, almost died.
I was in San Antonio.
I was in San Antonio. You were there.
Yeah.
You were there. And, but every night I got in the ring in Mid-Atlantic right before you came, and I had hellacious matches with Tony.
Yeah.
I put him over, he put me over, we had great matches. I kept my professionalism intact in that ring, just like you did, just like some of these guys cannot even fathom that. They can't even fathom how they try to be so good above everybody else that they don't know about being professional. Well, the more you set on the table for the other guy, the better that guy's gonna be.
Oh yeah, that's right. I mean, it's the more he's gonna eat.
Yeah.
The more he eats, the better he is.
Yeah.
You see, and it's like, you're talking about your bookers, which I understood because the booker, you got to know what he's head. I love Dusty.
Oh yeah.
Dusty, I gotta say this.
Love hate,
Dusty touched me, and I seen stars. You understand? Because
Right.
he did. He gave me and Robert a hell of a push.
Yes, he did.
But one reason he gave us a push, because we could carry the ball forward.
Yeah.
And a lot of things that promoters do that people don't understand, they did a lot of angles themselves because they knew what they wanted in their head, and they had nobody else that could do it.
Right.
But now, let's go back to the same thing here we was talking about earlier. Now you got all these guys at TNA making millions. I mean, $500,000 a year worked 4 times. $150,000 a year, but just make TV. There you go. I'm the booker. I walk in the dressing room. Okay, this is what I want to do, and I want you to put him over. Well, I ain't doing no job. What do you mean you ain't doing no job? See, that's what I don't understand. You're trying to build for something. That's the reason they hang out. Nobody wants to put nobody over. So that's the first thing I would do. I'd come in there and tell them, listen, I'm trying to build something. And what I want to do, it takes everybody in this fucking dressing room to get it done. I don't want to hear you come to me and tell me that you ain't going to do that. Just don't even tell me that. Just pick your bag up and walk out that goddamn door. And don't come back. Because, you know, that's where they got fucked up at. It's for one person refusing to do a job. Now, I'm in the dressing room. You knew your position. We knew where we was going, we was walking. The heel would come over here. I mean, the referee come tell me, he says, all right, I need you to go out there and this is a finish with my man and beat you. And I said, oh, I ain't going to put him over. Well, all the boys in the dressing room will whoop your fucking ass.
That's right.
You understand?
Back in the day.
All the boys whoop your ass because they're depending on Manny to be the top heel to be drawn on the next run. See, because you go by runs. Right. You see, we had our run with the Midnight Express, but boom, that kept everybody paid. We all made big money. You see, and at that time, they was building another tag team. They was building Rick Rude, Manny Fernandez. You understand me? So when we was through with them, we went with them. You know, boom, we're already the world champions. Now here they come in, da-da-da-da-da. That's the way the business worked. And everybody knew it, but you just tell nobody you ain't going to put nobody over.
And the worst ones,
God damn.
The worst ones that would be hurt more than anything, that depended on our runs, was the underneath guys.
Yes.
Because people don't understand, if we were putting ass in the seats and we were making that $5,000 a week or something, they were making $1,500, and the underneath guys would be happy because they had money for the families, the rent and everything. Because they didn't get to fly like we did. They didn't get to do all the things we did, but they got money to drive with each other, go up and down the road with each other. So you were stupid enough to say, hey, I ain't going, like me going to say, fuck it, I ain't putting Punky Martin over, he's too small. That's bullshit. I put him over every freaking night for fucking years. All my life.
I was working, I never forget one time, Robert, I was working, because they had a bunch of shows. We were in New York, South Carolina, outside of Charlotte. A lot of the guys wanted off, but they're running New York. We got Robert and I working against Black Bart and Joel Deaton. And Joel Deaton was underneath guy.
Yep.
He's main event. Well, see, he's so goddamn excited. God damn, he can't. I'm main event tonight. We get bomb. But see, it's like I'm trying to tell you. We get to York, it's sold out. You know, because all the shows sold out. God damn, it's sold out. He's main event. He knows he's going to get out payoff. But boom, him and Black Bart. Black Bart's going to settle down. God damn.
Yeah, Black Bart.
You know, so we get to the ring, boy, and the people hollering, rock and roll. And Joel Deaton's so excited. You know, me and Black Bart start the match off, and he tags Joel Deaton, and Joel Deaton's so excited, he just picks me up and throws me over the top rope, just like this. The next thing I know, here Black Bart come out ring, grab Joel Deaton. You stupid son of a bitch. What the fuck are you doing? You hurt this motherfucker. We all be fired, you motherfucker. That's a top baby face, you dumb son of a bitch. Look here, grabs him, throws him. Get out of the ring, your ass ain't coming back in. Best story is, motherfucker, you ain't getting me fired. Oh, yeah. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Those are the great times. I mean, we had a great crew. And another thing, too.
We had fun.
We had fun. You know, we used to go travel up and down the road.
Yeah.
Get passed out doing what we're doing. Wake up laying up next to each other.
Yeah.
Everybody think we weren't gay. We just passed out on top of each other. We'd be in the motel room and say, hey, get the fuck away from me. Get away from the hell.
See, because the boys were the boys.
Boys, yeah.
We depended on each other. And we loved each other, dude. Let me tell you that.
That's one thing
I've always loved each other. And that's
like I said.
You'd be watching a match. I've seen it several times. You know, the heel be in the ring working, and Mark jump in the ring. Shit. Next thing you know, be 20 boys in there.
Speaking of that, they just lost. It's another thing. We judge each other's back. It's like you said. You know, like when Wahoo McDaniels almost got hit, I jumped over his back and told him, I yelled, Dizzuck, Dizzuck! I jumped over and nailed that guy in the face, busted him wide
When you
open.
speak Carney now, guys don't know what the fuck you're talking
Oh, yeah, these idiots don't know no Carney.
They don't know what you're
They
talking
don't know
about.
the business. How they going to know
know.
Carney? They don't
You know,
even know,
You don't know how to call a spot
Hey,
either.
I would like to take some of these guys, like you say, you got John Cena and these guys. I respect Randy Orton because he's second generation.
Yes.
And he was taught the right way.
Yeah.
He was taught the right way. And I know Bob Orton Jr. made him pay his dues. Because I've been with Bob, and I know he made that boy. But take some of these clowns on the road like we used to travel, up in them hot areas in San Antonio, Odessa.
Say look here,
down the
man. These
valley.
guys got their own. They make so much money. They got their own buses. They got all this. Dude, look here. I'm worried about paying my fucking electric bill. You understand what I'm saying? I gave my life to this fucking business, dude. It's unbelievable. You know, they travel by themselves in these buses. Hell, we all packed. I remember the night we was coming back, me and you and Hoop. Mustang fast.
Oh, shit. Fast.
Manny had a Mustang. It was the fastest damn car I've been in my life. But worst thing in the world is let Robert Gibson goddamn drive. Here we coming back. We come back from Harrisburg, Virginia.
Yep.
We get pulled over 135 miles an hour.
That's how fast that sucker
We're on the interstate. Well, goddamn. We got to catch a plane in the morning. And we get pulled over. They make us all go to jail. Remember that?
Yeah.
And then we get, boom, we get down there, you know, it's all right, but da-da-da-da-da. So then we get in the car. I don't know if you remember this or not. Now we get back in the car. Now you're driving.
Right.
Robert, back then we carried pouches. You know what I'm saying?
Little fanny packs, man.
Oh, yeah. So we had that. Robert can't find it. Well, what he did, he put it on top of the car. When we got pulled over, we had to follow the police officer. It blew off his plane tickets in it. Now we had to go back, go up down that goddamn interstate. When we finally found that motherfucker. By the time we get home, it's time to go to the fucking airport.
Airplane. Go straight to the airport.
But how many times? Look
We've
here.
done that so many times.
How many
It's been
times? Look
many
here.
times.
On the road, party of the world. Look here, be booked in Rock Hill, 30 miles from the house, right? Still don't get home 7 o'clock in the morning.
7 o'clock in the morning.
Goddamn
sun
wild.
coming up, the birds chirping.
Goddamn
and stuff.
wild.
The lines would be going
Tear
crazy.
that ass up, boy.
Well, you're 30 miles away and you're here at 7 in the morning. What the hell's going on? It's fun times, man.
Good times.
Good times when we used to fly. Jimmy Garvin, Ronnie Garvin were great pilots.
Oh, my
God, they were great pilots.
You know what?
We used to make those trips to Fayetteville and stuff with them. Jeez.
I've been on that side of the bitch. People don't even understand this. I fly with Ronnie Garvin. And, you know, I didn't understand. You know, sometimes. First time I rode on it was in a storm. Man, you was on there.
Yeah, we were like,
Look here, Robert's. You're in the front with Ronnie, and it's like an old movie. Lightning's flashing outside the caboon, the plane's rocking. I got Robert's leg like this right here. I'm scared of fucking. Then finally land in Charlotte. I'm telling you, Robert, get off the place. I can't get off. My fucking legs asleep. I had a hold of it.
it's so tight.
I get off the ground. I kiss the motherfucking ground. I tell Ronnie, "Fuck you. I ain't never riding you no more." Next day, I'll be back on that son of a bitch. Look
Little
here.
bitty single
Look here,
engine.
then we'd find the motherfucker. And Ronnie goes, look for an airport. I said, for fucking what? He goes, alternator just went off.
Yeah, all his
All of a
instruments.
sudden, this is no shit as I done with. We landed in a goddamn field. I get out, there's a guy bush hogging over here. He gets in his tractor, he drives the son of a bitch over there, gets a pair of jumper cables out, jumps us off an airplane, and we take off again.
Yeah.
Because the airport's 10 miles over there. Am I a dumbass or what?
But they were great pilots. It was great. I mean, it was like, you can imagine, like they said, a cricket in a matchbox. Bam, 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 bam. We were flying on, going, oh, shit. Just to fly, 50. And it wasn't much. Everybody pitched in $50 to fly the plane. We used to fly everywhere because sometimes we didn't want to drive to Fayetteville or anything like that.
But people ask me a lot of times, tell me some stories about girls, or tell me the story about the road, tell me stories about it. And see, guys, I did so much shit I forgot.
Yep.
But understand this right here. This is how I'm going to explain this to you. And take it out there any way you want to. Have you ever watched the movie Hangover? I did everything on that son of a bitch for 20 years. The only thing that didn't happen to me, I never woke up in a room with a fucking tiger. Okay? Everything else fucking happened.
I did the same thing.
Look here, Manny. Look. What's your tooth?
Hey, I did though.
I pulled it myself.
I did everything. I did everything you did. I did wake up in the room with the Tiger Conway Jr.
Yeah, okay.
And he's sitting there whapping this girl, pop, hitting her in the head with that thing, that monster like Robert Gibson, pop,
Oh,
pop, pop. Sounded like he was cracking a melon, whop, whop, whop.
But the greatest. But you know what? Even these guys do make this money. I would never trade nothing
For what we do.
for the experience that I had in this business.
No.
You talking about
You cannot put a price on what
years
happened
ago. You're not
years
talking. You're
ago.
talking about like people say nowadays, street smart. About you couldn't get nothing over on the boys.
No.
I mean, brother, we was the smartest anything that ever happened. We knew what was going. We educated ourselves to the people because we had to learn how to read them, learn how to do what we do in this business. But to go back, and even though this business, they asked me, what have I sacrificed in this business?
My life.
I've been happily married a bunch of times because of this business.
Yeah, like me.
I got 7 kids that, let me tell you, that if I changed 1 second of my life, I wouldn't have them.
Right.
And I wouldn't do that because that's my life. It's my 7 children and my 2 grandkids. But you got to understand, because I wouldn't go back and change nothing.
Oh.
But I had more fun to see if you guys today, I mean, y'all got the experience to understand what it is to have the luxuries of what we paid for you. I mean, I guess you could say, I am a frustrated wrestler sometimes. But we did what you did, but I think we done it twice as better.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. And you guys come up from that. But understand this right here. I'm 53 years old, and the reason I still work is because I do still depend on this business to make a living, but I still love our business.
Ricky,
Yeah.
you had a great point about that. Just like I said, I was talking about, I'm very proud that it's our 35-year reunion. When I joined the SEALs back in 1974, when I graduated, it became, I never thought I'd find another brotherhood like that.
Yeah.
Because there was 22 of us that graduated, became a unit. Such a tight unit. It's like my first class petty officers say, we're so tight, we keep our asses wired tight. That's why we're so tight. When we go to country, we're going to be tighter than that. Ain't nobody going to gut up our ass because we're going to be so tight they couldn't water go through our ass. So, I learned that brotherhood. I survived what I did serving my country, came home. I never thought that I'd, end up at West Texas State and run into Dickie Murdoch and ever become a pro wrestler. Everybody knows that history about the Punks and Murdoch and stuff. But the brotherhood that I learned in this business, like loving and knowing you all my 30 years of my life, we've been up and down the road together, blowing money up our nose, blowing money on women, blowing whatever, on divorces, on whatever. We have something to show for it. We got each other.
That's
one thing that's one thing these people do not have.
And I'm just going to stop you for a minute because I tell this, and I was going to tell you this earlier, but we're on camera. But I did it at a convention last week in St. Louis. Like I was telling you, it was Roddy Piper, Terry Funk, Dory Funk, Mark Lewin, Jimmy Snuka, and but they said, that first person asked the thing, what do you think about this? I said, these guys raised me.
Yeah.
All these guys raised me. But see, and there's one thing I want to say, I know we're getting to the end of our thing here, and that's the reason I want to say this. And it goes for the boys that are out there, that are my friends, that know that you're my friends, and the ones that we talked about, even though we talked bad about you, all we did was tell the truth about y'all. Don't mean I hate you. I still love you. I love, because I love everybody. But in my life, with you guys, the ones that out there that know, and to you, Manny, it's a great pleasure and honor just to have you as a friend, because you never know what tomorrow brings.
Oh, yeah.
Look at all our friends that are gone.
Yeah, they're gone.
To sit here and look here and to hug your neck and tell you that I love you.
I love you, brother.
And thank you for being a part of my life.
Oh, thank you, man.
Thank you.
I mean, thank you for the brothers. Like I said, these guys don't know that brotherhood that we had, that bond we had, because, like I said, I never thought I'd find another unit like that, and I have. And you, and I have all the people that know me, the people that we lost, and of course, Terry's still with me.
Yeah.
But that's what's important to these guys. Their money can never buy what we have.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure
Their
can.
money will never buy what we have. They can make gazillion dollars. They're still not going to buy what we did or what we had. And everything that we shared with one another and the other guys like Hoop and even Dusty the Fat Man and even McTolly Blanchard, and even those guys. You
We
know?
had a sacred business to us,
Yep.
but we had a sacred bond that the wrestlers nowadays would never understand and never will understand, because all they care about is themselves.
That's it.
They forgot about it. And if you bring it back to that, a great business, and understand what it's about, but it can be like it been again. It ain't because I don't want to hear an excuse. There's a football game down the road. That's why we didn't draw. McDonald's is fucking open too. You ain't got what they want to fucking see.
That's it.
Love you, Manny.
Love you too, brother.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that cool, man?
It's good shit.
All right. I mean, I thought that's a good shoot interview.
I thought it was good
I
shit.
blowed up.